Hakuoyan, Hakuoyan, Ozumo. Hakuoyan, Hakuoyan, Ozumo.
Hello and welcome to Sumo Mainichi's Juryo live stream for day 7 of Haru Basho. I'm Amy. I'm here with Dave. Happy Nakabi Eve to you.
Happy Nakabi Eve to you and to everyone tuning into this video. Amy and I are from the Sumo podcast called Sumo Mainichi,
Yes.
aka Sumo Every Day. And for the next hour and 8 minutes, we are here to bring you all of the action from day 7 of the Juryo division. A lot of people ask us, why do we do Juryo?
Yes. It's a great question.
Is it?
It's not the top division. It's
No.
the second top division. But for us, the action is there.
Well, this is... Yeah, I mean, Juryo just has this certain type of magic about it.
it's a flavour.
It is a flavour.
It's a taste sensation.
It feels different. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can extract all of the pleasures of sumo from Juryo. You get to see young up-and-comers, you
Yep.
get to see fallen champions,
Your faves.
your faves,
Popping in and out, popping in to say
and out.
hello.
And you get to see a few old Juryo mates who just can't seem to get enough of this addictive
Yes.
part of the Banzuke. We've got a couple of Makushita bouts left. On your screen at the moment we have Nishinoryu and Ishizaki,
Yep.
who is at Makushita 1. This kid is knocking on the door of top division. Well, by top division I mean Juryo promotion.
Yes, that's true. That's
I'm really in the
exactly true.
mindset of Juryo being
This
the top
being
division.
Juryo. Oh, yes.
That's how laser focused I am. I'm locked in on Juryo.
Ishizaki coming into this on 1 and 2, so I would say lightly touching the door. I don't think he's rung the doorbell yet.
No.
He needs this win against Nishinoryu.
Oh, okay, mate. Nishinoryu coming out. It's a mutter there, so they'll go again. But gee, he's sent a message to Ishizaki.
He's pushed him right off
He's
the
pushed him
dojo.
right off the dojo, which isn't all that common. But Nishinoryu, a man who has no control over the power that he wields, and I find this concerning.
He's from Osaka, Nishinoryu, so might get some cheers here if he wins. 24 years old, Makushita 4. Ishizaki knows what's coming here, and it comes for him again. He backs off. They lock up. Ishizaki is Asakuryu's brother. He's very strong, and we see it put into action there. All of the muscles working. The little compact, muscly body of Ishizaki working well there. That's 2 and 2 for him. We just saw Aqua get his Kachikoshi 4-0.
Aqua is 4-0 at Makushita 6. Doing it with such style.
Come
today.
back, Aqua.
Yeah.
We need you. We want you.
Welcome to the chat, Dr. Quack. You're in first. Hello, Scott. So good to have you here. Good afternoon to you. And Caleb, the
Caleb.
meme lord.
The man of
Hello
the moment.
to you, man of the moment. A man who can wield Canva, Photoshop. I don't know what
I
people
think
are
it's
using these
Photoshop.
days.
I think it was the power of the great power of Photoshop.
Well, Adobe, a company who is beyond criticism, even with their quite aggressive pricing model and subscription structure, output great results every time. Adobe, a brand you can trust.
How about a sponsorship? If you
wouldn't
haven't
go
seen
near
the
them.
beautiful power of Photoshop from Caleb, head to our Instagram, Sumo Mainichi on Instagram, and you'll see the debut release of Jessica and Derek, The Pleasures of Sumo.
I have been looking at that image just for hours on end. It's so disturbing.
Caleb, he asked me before whether it was just the bottom of his face, and I said, no, it's the whole face. And he's like, why is the top of my face so weird?
Oh, I mean, not saying that the bottom half of my face isn't weird, but the top half looked particularly weird. It looked like someone else.
We have Miyagi here, the other Makushita one. Miyagi, very popular. You can hear people calling out from him. He's from Nakamura Baya. He moved there from Nishonozeki with the group of Rikishi who did that just a little while ago.
And if you recognise the eyes of I'll say that again, Mudoho, This is Oho's brother, but older brother, I believe.
He is the younger one, actually.
Oh,
do you know he looks older?
He does, yeah.
They look the opposite way around.
I always think Mudoho's the younger brother, but there is another younger brother. So this is the last bout in Makushita before we get underway for Juryo. Mudoho at Makushita 3. Knocking on the door, lightly rapping. Will anyone answer it? Miyagi at the Rikishi on the other side of that door, holding the door handle very, very tight. I do like watching Miyagi get out there on the doyo.
Yeah, me too.
There's something about his sumo aura that I find he's quite relaxed.
Yeah, well, he used to be one of the most muscly at this level, but he's really being challenged by quite a few Rikishi coming up to this level now.
Yeah, okay. Mudoho, all the planning has been exposed. Miyagi now with a very, very good idea of what's going to come at him.
Hello, Brenda. Lovely to see you, Mawashi Guru. Your favourite Aussie team. I love that. The best people in this chat, the best people watch Juryo together. All the finest sumo minds, we always say it. And Caleb said you're sharing a forehead, so...
I can't see how that's better.
Is that right? I think that might be worse. You said these aren't my glasses. I'm pretty sure they are.
All right, Miyagi and Mudoho go at it. Mudoho aggressive here, and just the sheer weight of the sumo that he put out today was too much for Miyagi, losing his feet. And Mudoho goes to 3-1. You'd think only a win or two off Juryo promotion now.
Yeah.
At Makushita 3, I believe he was at.
The third brother is, in fact, Naya.
Naya, thank you.
Oho used to be.
Yeah,
that was his shikono when he started.
Now, I'm going to preview the first Juryo bout because on my card, I've got Kusano against Kiryuko.
Yeah.
Now...
Oh, here we go.
Oh, so there's the... Yeah,
Kyujo.
okay, there's the Kyujo.
Well, that's bad because we get denied a Kusano bout.
I know.
Because he's been going so well. He is the sole leader of Juryo. Kusano from Isagahama Baya came into sumo wanting to go into Miyagino, but that's when everything went down with the stables. He's now at Isagahama and just looks unstoppable.
Well, a man who didn't need a free win today, I would argue.
Right.
But Kiryuko yesterday, a really nasty twisting of it looked like his right knee in his loss to Shimoumi. Had to get the big wheelchair out. But I tell you what, medical intervention.
Yes.
Surrounded by that many champions just hits different.
That's right. Takakasho was there. We saw Kiseyama. I think
Chinakuni.
Chinakuni was there,
Yes,
looking
he
on
was.
from behind. I mean, some of them like to stand at the back. Takakasho usually likes to get involved with that situation and really, rob the person who's been injured of as much air as possible by leaning in right over them. But he was at the back yesterday.
Takakasho, yeah, I feel like he could have been doing more at the front, just getting in people's way. But
Yeah.
he was out. I don't know what his role was there.
Well,
Securing the perimeter.
I do think now that they've done all this medical training, they now need just a little training session where they just learn to back off a little bit and stop crowding the poor old person who's in the most pain of their lives.
All right, up on the doyo, this is our first official bout of Day 7, Nakabi Eve. On your screen at the moment, we have Hitoshi, the 27-year-old from Tokyo, at Oitakaze Baya. I said that at the same time as the Japanese announcer. 4-2 at Juryo 12. We did see Hitoshi in Juryo back in November of 2023. And to say he bombed out is a massive understatement.
Oh, yeah.
He went 2-13 and has spent the last year and a bit working his way back slowly through Makushita. Given an opportunity in Juryo, again at Juryo 12, 4-2, a pretty good score. I'm sure he'd love to take it to 5-2 today.
Absolutely. He and Kazakino actually are in the pack 2 off the leader. So on 5 wins coming into today, Roga, Fujiseun, Hidennoumi and Shimoumi. And then we have Tochitaikai, Kotoeihou, Hakuoyan, Hitoshi and Kazakino. So they're still very much in it at this point on Nakabi Eve.
Yeah, sure. But Kusano, okay, he did get the free win today, but he's been looking so sharp.
Somebody's going to have to take him down. Could be one of these two. Kazukeno, he's 25 years old at Juryo 13 this time around. It's his highest rank. He's been in Juryo once before. Like Hitoshi, Juryo 14. Went 7 and 8. Wasn't the worst. Could have
Wasn't
stayed.
terrible at
Could have
all.
left him there. Come on.
Well, that's the new model, isn't it? Give people a second chance. A message we can all take on in our lives. All right, the gunbai is pointed forward. Hitoshi on the left of your screen. Kazukeno on the right. Hitoshi mucking about, taking his time. They come forward. It's a big pull from Hitoshi. Has he pulled it off? The gunbai is pointed towards him. He sent Kazukeno down to the dirt. Hataki komi.
Kazukeno slapping his hands together. He's not happy with that.
And we are getting a
mono
mono-e.
A late stage.
It was a very, very late mono-e there. So the judges will get up and we'll see a replay of this. I imagine that we're going to be looking at the feet of Hitoshi. Did he step out first?
Yep.
I didn't get a hair pull vibe from that one on first watch.
No, I didn't either. Who have we got up here on the doyo? For Takayama, we got Ex-Goedo, Koroshigiku. All right, Hitoshi coming in with the shoulder, the right shoulder. He pulls down. I don't think there's any fingers in there. And it does seem like Kazukeno touches the ground with his left hand as Hitoshi is still up on the Tawara.
With a Bema, we don't get the reverse angle.
No,
and I
can't
imagine that they're looking for his heel as he rolled over the rope there. Did it touch? From this angle, it looked pretty clear that he didn't. But of course, the Shimpan in the middle of the doyo have access to a man in a room with 19 TVs.
And he's zooming in looking for those fingers curling into the hair, perhaps. I mean, they are showing Kazukeno now. Maybe they should show us what they're thinking by zooming in on the hair.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very, very quick mono-e. We're about to get the result.
I do agree that the...
説明いたします。行司軍配は一つに上がりましたが、曲げを引っ張ってではないかと胸がつき、協議した結果、引っ張っていませんでした。
Yeah, so they were looking for the hair pull. They confirmed there was none there. The win confirmed to Hitoshi. He moves to 5-2 at Juryo 12. Kazukeno with that loss 4-3.
Hitoshi indeed looking resplendent in the platinum. I do like that colour. I like the lighter colour Moashi. I know I talk a lot about colour. Oh.
I can see why they had a second look at
Yeah.
that. Who called that mono-e? That's excellent sumo administration.
Yeah, let's wait. I think it was, right in front of him there.
Absolutely worth a look. Good to see that Hitoshi wasn't knuckles deep in the hair of his opponent today. Gets the win. And he's saying that Japan suffering through the worst year for flu colds in 25 years.
Wow.
I mean,
Have I had a flu vaccine?
Who can forget that flu from 2000? What a classic.
My favourite
It was
one.
a banger.
Totally different feeling to it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, back then, flus were different. Well, have you had a flu shot? I don't believe so.
I think I have.
I don't think an Australian flu shot will do anything against the
Japanese flu.
Japanese flu.
Maybe. Yeah, we are heading to the airport tonight.
Yep.
Well, tomorrow morning, but it's 3 a.m, so I'm going to call
Feels
it tonight.
like tonight.
Yeah. Here we have Otsuji, 2 and 4, up against Wakanonoho at Juryo 11. He's also 2 and 4. We've seen these two have their Juryo introductions across the last few days, across the first week. And I was disappointed because I didn't see any baby photos. And I still haven't of Wakanonoho, and nobody sent me any, which I'm devastated about. But I did see one from Otsuji.
Yeah, we saw a replay today of Otsuji v Hakuoyan in the Hakuoyan Cup.
Yep.
Oh, you were talking about something different.
I actually saw a baby photo.
Oh, you saw a baby photo?
Yeah, very, like a real baby. It was really cute. A real
Otsuji
baby.
took the charge of Hakuoyan in that bout. That probably would have been 6 or 7 years ago, I'm guessing. Otsuji 21, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Otsuji slapped the incoming Hakuoyan down, picked up the championship, and pumping his fist to the crowd.
He had 2 full repetitions of
Yeah.
it. Like he turned to the team and raised his arms to them, and then he came back, faced Hakuoyan and put his arms up again in the air. Fist pump.
It's one of the refreshing things about amateur sumo and the younger competitors in the Hakuoyan Cup is that there's no filter.
Yes.
It's very refreshing. Now we're seeing the split screen feathered edge.
A light feathered edge, I'd call
feather.
that.
I know. I'd say that's
Light
probably
feather.
8 or 9 pixels max.
Nice. Otsuji up against Wakanonoho. Both of these rikishi 2 and 4. They come forward. Wakanonoho with the arms outstretched. He's going for the tsupari. He's attacking again and again, pushing Otsuji back. Otsuji with the left hand on the belt, and he uses it immediately to throw Wakanonoho down. Blood nose.
Blood pouring from the nose. Otsuji, what a bout.
Very, very good. He withstood all of those thrusts, and one of the thrusts obviously going smack bang into the nose.
Well, to be able to keep your sumo awareness after being clocked right in the nose. Hats off to you, Otsuji, as we take the replay here. Yeah, Otsuji doing a great job of standing tall in the face of these Wakanonoho attacks. And you see him slap a few attacks down. Again, being pummeled in the face by Wakanonoho here, and then gets that left-hand belt grip. Look at the doyo awareness. Keeps his toes on the rope. Throws Wakanonoho down. This is why I think Otsuji is a superstar of the future.
I think so too. And do you know what he wanted to do there at the end? Huge fist pump. You could see him start to lift the arms. He's not allowed to anymore. He's in professional sumo. He's up here in the Juryo division at Juryo 14, and he's got to behave himself.
Well, I think we must have Wakari up next, because there's a bit of a contingent in the back rows there. It is Wakari up against Hatuyama.
They've done the ring around from the hometown. What's his hometown? Oh, there's so many options here. Tokyo, then Edogawa, then Kyoto, Nishikyoku.
Yeah, so this is, he's a traveller.
Yeah.
He has no home.
He's a
Wakari
wayfarer.
keeps his life on his back, and he wanders from town to town, making his living through sumo. But today, he's in Osaka. Wakari on 3-3 at Juryo 9. His opponent today, the saddest man in sumo, Hatuyama at Juryo 13 on the same score. Hatuyama impresses me with his sumo. I feel like the attitude could do with a bit of work.
As long as the sumo plays out all right, the attitude can be anything. It's just that it is so closely matched for me.
But if you're not enjoying it, is the doyo the right place to have an existential crisis? I've always asked that question of Hatuyama, and he keeps saying yes. But whatever drives his sumo, it's working, because he, back in January, was at Juryo 12, got a lucky break after going 6-9, only to move down to Juryo 13. But I feel like he's taking this second chance and doing something with it. 3-3, not a bad score. His sumo has been positive every day.
Yeah, he's coming out and performing. He hasn't beaten Wakari yet, but they've only had one previous bout.
In all of the one times,
In the
he's
one
never
times.
beaten him. Looks like the gyoji is ready. The gunbai is pointed forward. Wakari on the left. Hatuyama in the deep purple on the right of your screen. Wakari comes forward. A big pull from Hatuyama, but Wakari under the arms. Hatuyama gets that right hand on the belt. Starts to drive back, but a very good response from Wakari. Rolling down Hatuyama to the doyo, the blue and white flags being flapped around in joyous movement for their boy.
High school mates, university mates. Where did he go to university, Wakari?
The people who he's met along the way.
No university there. He did try to pull here, Hatuyama, which put him perilously close to the Tawara, but he fought back. And Wakari went for a Makakai. Hatuyama then went for a Makakai, but Wakari was set up. He had that arm in the right position for the throw, and that was a really, really strong win for him. He's a pocket rocket,
He certainly
Wakari.
is, yeah.
I love watching him.
Very, very exciting, Rikishi.
Shitatsunage was that?
I think that was the Nuwatenage. Welcome, Kelly. So good to have you here with us today. Hello from Sarong.
In Indonesia on a
Wow.
diving I mean, I'm giving out everyone's information. On a diving holiday.
I don't know if you can dock someone if they're on a boat.
Go and find someone on a Indonesian... Well, she just said where she was.
Here we hear the dulcet tones of Kunio, and you see Abema getting a little bit creative with the slow fade into this beautiful close-up. Look at the slow fade, and here we see a fan close-up pulling out. Just a spellbinding voice this man has.
Beautiful. He should be involved in a classical music concert. He could sing Nessendorma.
Yeah, he absolutely could.
Get him
Jeez,
into a concert.
How can we make this happen?
Yeah. Or
Oh,
the
gee, that'd be spine
TV
tingling.
event. I know. When the Rikishi sing, why can't he sing as well? Maybe he does. Maybe he's sung in one of those before. I haven't seen it, but...
No, I can see an issue with that, though. Like, when you bring someone in with that kind of voice and that ability, it makes everyone else look worse.
That's true. That's true. I think my favourite one held at the Kokugikan singing event that I've seen is the Hidennoumi. I might go back and try to find that video again. That Hidennoumi... can't remember anything about the piece. It was so great. Tsurugisho, 2 and 4. He's struggling through as he always does. We saw an excellent win from him yesterday against Otsuji. And not a passive win.
Absolutely not. Tsurugisho took it to the youngster. Shows that there's plenty of sumo left in him at 33 years of age. Fighting on courageously. It feels like every basho riddled with injuries. But the sumo mind is in great shape, still very sharp. And today his opponent will test him. Hakuoyan, another cerebral Rikishi. And I will say that and I'll stand by it. Does he use his powers for good? That question I won't answer.
Keep that one to yourself,
I'll
I
keep
guess.
that one to myself.
He can, we learned from a TV special actually that he can eat, and he actually can sing somewhat because he sung in the Ichimon's group, his Ichimon singing group. Yeah. Someone you do not expect to walk out. You know, you're choosing all the, the popular guys. You have to say
Well, I
it.
think
That's how you choose TV talent.
He would have won a few fans though. Because as you said, he could put it away.
Well, I was a fan for about 3 or 4 days. Remember, I was singing the praises of Hakuoyan.
You were talking
and then
him up.
Pushed someone else off the dojo again. I was like, oh no, I'm back.
Welcome to the chat, Christopher. So great to have you. We're really, really happy that you're on the other side of the country and you can join us on this Juryo live stream today.
It's so cool to have people at both ends of the day as well. So Christopher at night, and we've got Carla there who just woke up.
Hey, Carla.
You knew something good was happening. It's Juryo.
It's Tsurugisho.
Yes, Tsurugisho and Juryo up against Hakuoyan. I mean, Hakuoyan 4 and 2. I said before that the guys on this score are still, well, I mean, everyone's very much in it at this point on Nakabi Eve, but Hakuoyan could pull through. He's down first, Tsurugisho, staring him in the eyes. He's coming around the body with the right hand, Tsurugisho, and he just moves forward, simply moves forward and takes Hakuoyan out.
Excellent sumo today from Tsurugisho. Surprising Hakuoyan, surprising me. And I think surprising the Osaka crowd too, because that surge off the tachiai isn't what we expect from a man whose knees are completely wrecked. See the replay here. Bringing his big frame forward and Hakuoyan unable to do much as Tsurugisho commits the body. You can see Hakuoyan trying to get the makakai, trying to find a way in, but Tsurugisho too strong, too determined today. Takes himself to 3 and 4 with that Yorikiri win, keeps himself in this one.
I love this for him. He's also 8-4 now over Hakuoyan. He's
got his number.
Dominance, and I love to see a Tsurugisho win.
We take a slow pan.
Sensual pan?
Georgie. Oh, it's not sensual. Okay. No, I'll tell you when it's sensual.
A slow, non-sensual pan.
But this is Kimura Yukihiro, I believe, the 51-year-old, officiating this next bout, which we have. Oh, what a treat. Hokutofuji up against Shimoumi.
Is this mid-Magashira?
I know, it takes you back, doesn't it?
Should be.
Yeah, it feels like 2021 all over again. Hokutofuji, look, this isn't where he should be. feels weird seeing him at Juryo 8. And you wouldn't say that he's been dominating. His 2 wins, 4 losses. Has looked... he's carrying injuries. The sumo life weighs heavy on his shoulders.
Yeah, I think so. I've had quite conflicting feelings here. He is someone who, when he... And I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I don't know, looks pretty banged up. When it happens, when that retirement call comes through, I'm going to have some feelings and I'm going to need to go into the sumo closet and express them.
Yeah, again, and the offer remains that we will be issuing medical certificates for people to take 1 to 2 days off, depending on your workplace. If Hokutofuji does decide to retire, just send us an email and we'll shoot you back a medical certificate. Hokutofuji, 32 years old. It feels like we've just seen some ups and downs with him. But let's enjoy it for what it is. His opponent today on your screen at the moment, Shimoumi, the man who wrecked Kiryuko's time yesterday with some, I've got to say, some quite good sumo. Shimoumi is actually looking in rare form this time around. He's 5-1. Really commanding on the dojo over the last 5 days.
He's only lost to Daiseizan.
Okay.
Daiseizan's been really up and down.
Well,
We'll see him come up later. But yeah, Shimoumi refound a little bit of glory.
We see the heavily strapped right knee of Hokutofuji. There's that injury that saw him sit out. How many was it? Just the one in January of this year. Saw him slide from Maegashira 12 down to Juryo 8. I believe. I think there's still life in Hokutofuji.
I think he definitely feels like there is. I think it's whether the body can respond.
Yeah, I know.
He feels it. I do not doubt that for a single second. He and his fans, I think. I was just remembering 2 years ago when we were in Osaka. I think it was then. We sat in front of a group of Hokutofuji fans one day, and they were just lovely. They seemed like a really great group of friends. They all... they didn't barrack for a group of... Rikishi. I think that's a bit of a Western thing. You know, you in Japan, you come to the sumo and you support your one boy.
Yep.
And they were just so into Hokutofuji that maybe they were from his area. I don't know. I feel like he and his fans are great.
Beautiful shots there from Abema, drinking in every moment of the pre-match ritual. Little taste of the salt by Hokutofuji. Shimoumi, different energy as he comes into a bout. Looks like he couldn't care less, but I know that's not true.
Bloodshot? No, I'm not.
Well, you know.
It's a colour balance.
Friday night could be the colour balance. All right. Looks like we're ready to go here. The Gyoji points that resplendent red gunbai forward. We are ready to go. They're head-to-head 3-3. Oh, Hokutofuji, we get a crash zoom on his head. The Abemba vision switcher says, let's get out. Hokutofuji comes forward, attacks Shimoumi. Shimoumi on the defensive. You can see Hokutofuji working away, but Shimoumi seems very stable as he slides back. Hokutofuji, hand on the throat. Shimoumi forced to move around the dojo, and a smart dodge there. Ah, gee, no one enjoyed that.
I mean, right up to that point, that was a great sumo bout. He was going well. Well, it was going okay. It was going. But yes, that ending, the okuridashi, the gentle taking out of Hokutofuji. Shimoumi making sure to keep his hands on his hips so he wasn't going to fall off. He wasn't going to crash down on that knee. Hokutofuji came out well here. He anchored himself, pushed Shimoumi back. Real struggle here. Shimoumi was under the elbow of Hokutofuji, so even though Hokutofuji had that good Noroa, he could control his body there from the elbows and just was able to push him aside. So yet again, we have to see defeat in the eyes of Hokutofuji, and I don't like it.
Yeah, and to go out of kuridashi, that's rough. That's really rough.
I mean, I feel like you have to accept that at this point. But
Shimoumi, what does he move to now? He is, whoops, I've gone up too far there. He's 6-1.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
He went 3-12 in January, so a different Shimoumi out on the dojo. On your screen, it's just gone off. we have our next competitors. We have Daiseizan at Juryo 10 up against Kotoeihou at Juryo 7. As you said, Daiseizan's score exactly reflecting his sumo over these first 6 days. When he's been good, he's been fantastic, and when he's been bad, he has been shocking.
2 days ago, he absolutely took it to Wakari. It was such a good bout. He fought valiantly. He came out on top with an oshitaoshi win. It was a longer bout. He really had to work for it. And I thought, here we go. You know, the third win, he's going to go for it. Yesterday against Hakuoyan, easy defeat.
Well, he looked like he was sleeping.
Yeah.
It was no good yesterday. We do have confirmation that Enho
Oh, yeah.
at Makushita,
He won today. He's 4-0. Got his
at Makushita 30, got his Kachikoshi.
Kachikoshi. That's fantastic.
Well, actually, yeah, that's right. That's good stuff. He'll see a nice bump with that, especially if he can find another few wins over the next few days and into that second week. I haven't seen him go around,
No, I
to be
haven't
honest,
seen any
lately.
of them.
So I think I saw a couple of bouts last basho. I haven't seen anything so far. I think we were talking probably a few weeks ago how it feels like sumo's changed away from a style where small Rikishi can do well. But I feel that, there's something about Enho. He wormed his way into our hearts a few years ago.
Yeah.
And seeing him, the determination that it would take to climb so slowly back up.
Yeah, and Dr. Quack looking forward to an Enho Ishizaki Makushita playoff. That would be
I'd
so
love
interesting
that.
because
Oh,
they're both small. Ishizaki is smaller height-wise, but wide. He's a wide boy. And very different body types. So that would be a great one to see. Here we have Daiseizan up against Kotoeihou. Kotoeihou coming into this on 4-2. He's won all 3 of their previous head-to-heads. He's down early, as he always is. Daiseizan back a little. Daiseizan comes in lower, but Kotoeihou drops the body down, slaps the left hand on the belt. Daiseizan tries a makukai to keep himself off the Tuara, and he does. Amazingly, he does for a while, but then he's forced to step over. Kotoeihou doesn't let up.
this is outrageously good sumo from both of these Rikishi. Kotoeihou proving again today his strength of will, I think, is his greatest asset. Obviously, Shiko,
Yep,
high,
good. 10 out of 10. 11
brother
out of 10.
of Kotoeihou.
Yep.
I think he's got something that Kotoeihou doesn't have, and we're starting to see it emerge
A little
here.
bit of fire, a little bit of
Yeah,
spirit.
there's something about it.
He always goes out hard, doesn't he?
Looking at this replay here, Daiseizan, hats off. This was an excellent effort. But seeing Kotoeihou's control as he was being taken back there, and just that establishment of the left hand, looking for the right hand. Daiseizan, the fight on the
nearly got
Tawara
the
there,
throw.
just unbelievable. Kotoeihou having to work with that Sagari under his feet. Jeez.
Ouch.
Talk about adding a dimension of difficulty. That's just strong, honest sumo from both Rikishi, but today Kotoeihou on top. That Yori Kiri win for him. Kotoeihou 5-2. This feels good.
It's excellent for him. Really, really great. Juryo 7. Is that his highest rank? No, it is his highest rank. Yep.
Juryo 7 it
One
is.
of the many.
I think it's only his
at their highest
second basho, right? At Juryo?
Third,
Oh, third,
yeah.
okay.
13-13 after a 7 and 8. Fair enough. And then 7 with a 10-5. I love seeing that guy do well.
Okay, the next bout we have is Tomokaze at Juryo 7 up against Tohakuryu at Juryo 9. Tomokaze on your screen at the moment from Nakamura Bay. 1 win and 5 losses. Obviously a lot of controversy coming into this basho. I feel like it's absolutely been affecting his sumo. He has been all over the place. We saw yesterday Tomokaze lose in fairly spectacular fashion when he missed a slap
Yes,
down against Wakari and just
That's right.
overbalanced himself.
that's right.
It wasn't good
He took
sumo.
himself down. He had a kikomi to himself. Wakari extracted himself from the slapdown attempt. It was a great bout from Wakari yesterday.
Oh, we can see a few innocent children holding up Tomokaze towels. He's let you down.
Let's not tell them.
Yeah.
Let's let them keep on dreaming.
Yeah.
I love the piano.
Yeah.
A question, does Enho need one more tournament as a Sekitori to be able to stay in the JSA? So if you're not in, if you don't get to Sanyaku, there's a number that you need to compete in either a Sekitori's Juryo and Makuuchi to be able to stay in the JSA and keep working, be a coach, head of stable, whatever he ends up doing. And he's got, I thought it was one as well, but Scott's saying maybe it's 2. Maybe he's had 28 already, needs to get to 30. Well, so it's so important for him to get back to Juryo.
It certainly is. Tomokaze's opponent today is Tohakuryu at Juryo 9. He's also on 1 and 5. Hasn't been a great basho for him so far. Tohakuryu, it's been a while. It's September 2024 when we saw him record his last Kachikoshi. And then before that,
it was in January. The poor guy.
Oh, I'm overlooking
right
it. It felt like a 7 and 8, I've got to say. All right.
He's like, hang on.
Well, no one comes here for the accurate statistics, right? Okay.
I can't believe I happened to see that. Why was I actually on the page?
I was raw dogging it. I was going from memory. All right, the gunbai is pointed forward. Tomokaze on the left. Tohakuryu on the right. Tohakuryu, he loves to play the mind games. He comes forward, tries to get on the belt. Tomokaze slapping high, but Tohakuryu starts to attack. Tomokaze comes forward, but a smart move laterally from Tohakuryu puts himself in a position where he can send Tomokaze down. Tomokaze just looks absolutely forlorn.
Yes. Should have delivered a swift kick to the right leg of Tomokaze. There's a huge bruise there. Could have just really driven that in. He didn't. Instead, it wasn't a henko, it was a meet and move here. Yeah, meet and a jump to his left. Got all up in the grill of Tomokaze. Slaps Norowa. Tomokaze trying to go for the slap.
Yeah.
And then as he came back, Tohakuryu knew what to do with that. Got his second win. He's now 2 and 5. Tomokaze 1 and 6.
Did you see on a Hatakikomi win there for Tohakuryu? Did you see on Reddit Sumo during the week that someone got a tattoo, a back piece done of the Abema logo?
I did.
And did you see someone else did a response where they photoshopped the Marath Holdings logo onto a back piece tattoo? Good stuff, good content.
I like that. I mean, tattoos are meant to tell a story, right? I thought the Abema one looked really cool. It was the Abema Ozumo one. It's quite, it's big and chunky and detailed.
Yeah, I mean, the line work was excellent.
It was good.
One of the comments said, your back might get a DMCA takedown.
Don't get NHK tattooed.
Yeah, I know, exactly right.
You've got to live as a hermit.
Well, we have a very exciting bout coming up next. 2 in-form Rikishi. Roga at Juryo 3 up against Hidennoumi at Juryo 6. Roga joining us back from the top division after bombing out in January. But his form back in Juryo, I feel like this is exactly what he's needed.
Yeah.
Just to give himself time and space to fall back in love with sumo. And just let the passion of sumo wash over him.
This was what you were saying before, right? This was one of the good things about Juryo, that we can see someone like Roga fall down, fight so well, rediscover that form.
Well, that's so true, and that's what Juryo offers. It's so good to see. Hidennoumi, I mean, this 5 and 1, it's been fascinating to watch. He's been... Look, let's say he's been very inconsistent over the last X number of years. He did pull out a 10-5 from Juryo 11 back in January 2024. But a lot of 6s, 7s and 8s for him. His time around, 5 and 1, but he does have a Fusensho, a free win. He was Nabatame's opponent when he went Kyujo on day 4.
Yeah, that was awful, Nabatame going out.
Yeah.
heavy strapping to the knee and just re-twisting that, I think, although I've seen a few things that it might be something else as well. I hope it's not something else. I hope it's the one thing. I don't know what's better. But Nabatame out.
Do you want a fresh injury or a re-aggravation of an old injury?
Exactly.
I think you want
don't
a
know.
fresh injury.
Yeah, maybe. Because if you haven't been able to fix the other injury, maybe you'll be able to fix the new injury.
Something to think about.
Yeah, isn't it? Confirmation, though, that Scott just recounted Enho's Sekitori basho, and it is 29, so there's only one more.
Oh, great.
Only one more. So he's at 30 now. Scotty's Kachikoshi. Let's go, Enho.
There's been something very effortless about Hidennoumi's sumo this time around. I feel like...
Yeah, it has.
And I'm not saying that in a bad way.
No, he's just coming out and enjoying himself.
The Gyorji reading the room here can feel the fever pitch of excitement in the stadium and thinks, let's send these boys back one more time to the corners. Let's whip this
hear
crowd
the applause.
into a frenzy. And he's done exactly that. Look at the faces of those people. They can't believe that they're seeing this matchup today. Nakabi Eve. I thought the presents were meant to come on Nakabi, but no. We are being delivered gift after gift on Nakabi Eve. Their head-to-head is 3-0 Roga's way.
I feel like that's expected, perhaps.
I don't think that's a huge surprise.
No rich history, no surprises. Roga staring down his 5-1 opponent, Hidennoumi. Both would fancy a Yusho here. Roga especially comes forward strongly, but he slips. He keeps his feet, but Hidennoumi uses that chance to come back. And they lock up a little bit here, both struggling for a position. Hidennoumi slips as well. Roga tries to get his hand on the belt. He wants that right hand on the inside. He's got the left hand outside grip. Now he's got both, and he uses it to step Hidennoumi over.
What a...
That was good. I don't know how he recovered from that slip at the start.
Roga just showing his innate reflex of sumo here. Fascinating bout. And I think that's his oyakata there.
Yeah, Futako. Oh my gosh. What happened there? Futakoyama.
Looking on. Here's the replay. Gee, I think Hidennoumi had a great opening here, nearly putting Roga away. But as you said, Roga kept his feet. Hidennoumi just showing great perseverance in this attack. But Roga had an answer to everything Hidennoumi threw at him. You can see Roga trying a slap down there. Hidennoumi kept his feet. Roga, that left-hand belt grip that you probably can't see was the key here. He's still got it. Establishes that right-hand belt grip. And Hidennoumi knew that it was game over there where he felt that right hand slip underneath the belt. Great win for Roga. His 6-1. Yorikiri win for him. I mean, I'd be surprised if Roga isn't winning this Yusho, given his form.
I can't wait to see Roga Kusano.
Oh.
I mean...
Day 15 player.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
So at the moment, so far into Juryo, thus far into Juryo, we have Kusano on 7 wins, but it was a Fusen show today for him because of Kiryuko's awful knee injury yesterday. And now, so far on 6 wins, Roga and Shimoumi.
Welcome to the chat, Siggy. So great to have you here. We've got 3 bouts to go in Juryo. This bout is Kayo up against Shiden. I would say 2 Rikishi who have been extremely unlucky over the first 6 days of this basho.
Oh, Shiden particularly.
Oh, Shiden.
He's putting in everything like he always does, but nothing's coming off.
Yeah.
Nothing. Or one thing.
Well, it came off once. Shiden, 33 years old. He's a Tokyo native, went through the Nihon University system. But it just hasn't happened for him this time around. Only the one win that came on day 4 against Mituryu, who is no easy beat.
No, absolutely not. And he's much smaller than Mituryu as well. What's that winning technique?
The winning technique. I'm going to guess it's Yorikiri. It was. I think Shiden can turn this around.
Yeah.
I have unlimited faith in Shiden. I think he's a champion. As we see a few Kayo fans in the audience.
Homemade? Is that towel homemade with the little
Well, I think it's got,
dragons?
what do you call it? It's merch that's been bought commercially but bedazzled at home.
Uh-huh. What's the Japanese equivalent of like Etsy or...
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, I do know. It's that marketplace.
Not Makari.
Yeah, Anne-Marie, what is it? Makari.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that for homemade goods?
Oh, could it be?
Could it?
Maybe.
Well, maybe.
No, that's just a reseller, right?
Oh, okay.
So what's Etsy? What's the Etsy of Japan? Where you can just make it, you can just rip someone's logo off,
Yeah.
rip someone's picture off, and just stick it on a towel.
I feel like your archaic hanging on to copyright is stopping you enjoying the labours of passionate sumo fans.
Well, also, I'm going to say out loud, I feel like I need to, that I know there are a lot of legitimate sellers on Etsy who do very beautiful work
they do.
and amazing artistic practice. Etsy is great. It's just that for sumo, you can also find a lot of rubbish on there. But actually, what's not rubbish is Sumo Mainichi t-shirts. So if you Google, we didn't rip anything off of that. We had a logo designed by our mate Daz.
Yep, Daz did a great job on that.
Daz is a drummer as well. He's the drummer in your band. And he's
my
a
old band.
old band.
We're not a current concern. Oh, no, we're
You
playing
play
a
with-
show
yeah, you
in
play with
November.
Glorious North.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Siggy, I thought the same thing. Makari is a bit more like eBay. than,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a market opportunity, I think, for us as a group. We are all shareholders in the new Etsy for Japan.
Sponsor us, Makari. Or Etsy.
All
Anyone.
right. All right, Kayo on the left of your screen at Juryo 2 up against Shiden at Juryo 4 on the right. Both of these Rikishi would love a win today. Kayo down. Shiden comes forward, he does get that right hand on the belt, but Kayo bodying Shiden to the bales. Shiden using that right hand to direct traffic. He's still trying to throw Kayo down, but Kayo, excellent use of the body just to shake off the influence of that belt grip that Shiden had and take Shiden over.
Nice work from Kayo. Really good. We'll see the replay in a moment, but I will respond to Carla here because Carla said I didn't know you had a t-shirt. I just said the t-shirt was on Etsy. It's actually on Redbubble.
We're the worst marketers.
So bad. We have Sumo Mainichi t-shirts on Redbubble. You can Google it. Kayo came in, Shiden came in here with the belt hold, the right hand. Kayo got his own, but then just let go, kept the left hand around the big body of Shiden. Shiden tried to throw him down here, but Kayo leant forward, went for his own throw. And the bigger body here, the surface area of Kayo dominated.
Yeah, absolutely. Kayo, Oshi, Taoshi win the frontal crush down. Great stuff from him. Really showed his improvisational skills. Would love to see him have another go in the top division.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd miss him from Jurio. I love seeing him go around, but love to see him have another crack.
Hang on, who are you saying another crack?
Kayo for
He's
Makuchi.
never been there.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Am I sure?
That
Again,
is, like, you've had a full fever dream of Kayo and Makuchi. I love it. I want it. But he hasn't been there.
really?
He got to Jurio 1 and went 7 and 8.
Could the stats be wrong?
Could they? I mean, by all
Or
means.
could I be wrong?
No.
No.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. I've got a strong memory of that. On your screen at the moment, we have the second last bout of Jurio. We have Mituryu up against Kagayaki. Two old warriors and very, very familiar with Jurio. Mituryu, 30 years old.
Kagayaki, 30 years old.
Well, there's a lot of symmetry in this bout. Both.
Now I want to look at their birthdays.
2 wins, 4 losses.
Okay, Kagayaki, June 1.
If they're born on the same day.
Mituryu, April 25. But that's close.
It's close.
Well, it's closer than it could be.
Sure. Kagayaki at Jurio 1. Does he want to go back to top division?
Oh, I'm not sure he does. He's been out of it only for one basho. He was at Magashira 16 in January. Went 6 and 9. He has one Fusensho in this 2 and 4. That was yesterday against Oshoumi. Actually, Oshoumi is someone we haven't spoken about. That was a surprise to us.
Oh,
When did we? Yeah,
No, it
because
was
we
only-
watched yesterday's Juryo today.
yeah, that.
Oshoumi went Kyujo.
Yeah.
And the reason given by the stream we were watching was a top of the foot issue, which I'm not sure what that means.
Come on.
What's a top of the foot issue?
Top of the foot.
What's on the...
What's on there? Just a few. There must be some little weird bones there.
I guess if...
Hang on, let me check my foot.
Well, are there those bones that, you know, when you press down on them, they move and it's like, oh, yuck.
Is that bone or what's going on there? Anyway.
There's tendons.
Yeah. And I guess that they're probably important in moving the toes around.
It probably really hurts when there's a problem as well.
But just say foot. Don't say
Yeah,
top
foot.
of the foot.
Foot problem.
Top of the foot sounds like an excuse. Well, you can see the Edion Arena in Osaka starting to fill up as our people are getting ready for the Makuuchi division happening not too far away, but we've got 2 more bouts in Juryo. Mituryu, very relaxed. Kagayaki trying to build some intensity, trying to generate some interest from this Osaka crowd. And at this point in the afternoon, this can happen. They get a bit flat.
Yeah.
You've got to the sumo at 11. You've
Yep.
cracked a couple of cans.
Yep. Few 9%.
Few 9% highballs, and you can get that kind of, I don't know, pre-Makuuchi slump, they
Yep.
call it. Where you start, I mean, it's almost like the hangover's starting.
Yeah, you can see it here on a few faces.
Yeah, you can.
I could, if I had one of those little arrow things that they use on the footy or the cricket commentary, like how can we get an arrow or how can I circle things on our
We need to
stream?
do this.
I want it. I would circle a few faces that looked very tired.
Yeah. Bit tired and
And
emotional.
possibly a little bit drunk. But here we have Mituryu up against Kagayaki, an important bout for both these Rikishi. Juryo 6 and 1 respectively. Mituryu is down. Kagayaki a little bit further back. They go in somewhat strongly. Mituryu comes out. Kagayaki trying to go forward with the hand on the throat of Mituryu. Mituryu is trying to disrupt those arms. Kagayaki staying low. He's on the Tuara and he's over. It's a win for Mituryu.
Very determined sumo from Mituryu today. Just ground that one out.
Yeah, it was hard sumo to describe, actually. There was just a lot of kind of pushing.
Well, I mean, that's sumo. You see a couple of fans going absolutely wild for their boy. You see the replay. I mean, this was sumo fundamentals executed very well from Mituryu. Kept on the attack despite a very, a series of effective counterattacks here from Kagayaki. Definitely aiming for the throat, but you can see Mituryu aware that he needs to lock those arms up, starve Kagayaki of space, and just kept moving forward. Eventually finishing him off Oshidashi, I imagine.
Hey, Kenneth.
Hey, Kenneth. Good to
How
have
are
you
you?
here. Caleb, does anyone know if there's a good sumo-themed manga? It's not really manga, but that Hinomaru Sumo,
Yeah, that's the anime.
the anime, I think that was based on a manga.
Oh, okay.
I think Sumo Punks recommended that one to us.
Right.
It's a banger.
Yep.
Absolute banger. Matches that go for most of an episode.
Yeah, that's right. Mostly sumo, actually. So if you want sumo themed, you've definitely got sumo themed. Now, the final bout of the day, Tamasho, Fujiseun, and Christopher, if you didn't enjoy Googling Tomokaze, definitely don't Google Tamasho right now.
Oh, look. The tabloids are working overtime at the moment, aren't they?
Tobizaro is leaking a lot of information. No, it's not that. It's not that. There's a lot happening. It's Tamasho up against Fujiseun. We're going to concentrate on the sumo here. Tamasho is 3 and 3. Sumo's been pretty good. Fujiseun 5 and 1.
5
He's in
and
that
1.
leader pack.
Can I call this a breakout performance already by
Yes,
Fujiseun?
please.
He
By
has
all
looked
means.
absolutely dominant at his highest rank of Juryo 5. I've always thought Fujiseun has it in him, and I think we're starting to see him fulfill his destiny. The 27-year-old at Fujishima Bay went through the Meiji University system. Now, I'm not sure exactly what his thesis was on,
Oh, yeah.
but I do need to look into that. I know he has an interest in Well, probably the simplest way to say it is economics,
Okay.
but crosses over with a lot of agriculture. Yeah. It's kind of imports, exports.
Yeah, it's where it's
the
draw one
Venn,
circle
exactly,
and
yep.
write,
Yep. He works in
Agriculture
the middle part of the Venn diagram.
Yeah.
It's economics, agriculture, and sumo. It's a very, very small part of the Venn diagram crossover.
But could
Now
do
the-
with more people in there.
God, it certainly could. I mean, he's a pioneer. Starting to really get some interest in his work. Definitely in Europe. But today he's focused on the circle in that Venn diagram that is sumo. Tamasho at Juryo 1 on 3 and 3. Joining us back after, well, what was a fairly disappointing result for him in January on debut in Makuuchi. He went 6 and 9. Didn't look himself.
No, well, I think we were wondering who was going to watch the tapes, because if you watch Tamashoho's tapes, you can work out a few things.
Yeah.
One can.
One
work
can.
out how to combat some of his moves, perhaps. He is on the lighter side, on the lither side, and he was found out, I think. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do here today.
So we take a brief pause in the stream. It always happens about this time and it
Oh,
comes
that's
back. I
nice.
am absolutely relaxed with that.
Yeah, you were so chill then.
All right, the gunbai is pointed forward. Tamasho moves out of the way. That's a dirty handcuff!
Dog act!
Dog act.
How dare you?
What an awful piece of sumo from Tamawashi.
Tamawashi.
Jeez.
Don't put his name in the dirt.
Oh, what have I done? Tamasho, I should say. It's all interconnected.
Oh,
The
well,
red
it is.
strings are connected there. I
I'm
can
not
see
sure
why
he'd
I
want
did it.
you saying that today.
Yeah. This feels like, from a PR perspective, the worst thing
Oh, yes.
that
I see what you mean.
Tamasho could do. And
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing if the knuckles went into the hair there.
Mono-e, please.
Can we get a mono-e there?
I feel like this guy, Tamashoho, stepped up on the doyo today and said, I don't want to do any sumo. And he just did Fujiseun dirty to take him to 5-2 Fujiseun in that way. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Tamashoho, he's 4 and 3.
Well, that's it for the bouts in Juryo today on Nakudi-e. Do you want to take us through the leaderboard in Juryo?
I sure do. Let me just give it a little quick refresh. We've got Kusano out on 7 wins. He is 7 and 0 on Nakabi Eve on day 7. Roga and Shimoumi on 6. And Fujiseun, Hidennoumi, Kotoeihou and Hitoshi on 5 wins.
Okay, as we see the top division Ricochet coming up on to the doyo for the doyo Eri. Asakori stepping up at the moment. Great to see Aonishiki and Shishi, the Lion of the Ukraine, stepping up. Hey Thomas, thanks so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you, Thomas. That's lovely. And someone else was here for the first time. Just said it
Oh,
at the
Daniel.
time. Oh, Daniel.
Joining
Yes.
from LA.
That's cool.
That's so cool. Well, so what are our plans tonight? So you've got a show.
Yeah, I've got to play an orchestra concert now.
Yep.
Got to go and play some Franck, some Wagner, some
Great.
John Williams. Actually, we're playing. Oh, I don't want to tell you this because you're coming.
Yeah.
But I
No
will.
spoilers.
Okay. Well, the encore's really good, and it's by John Williams.
Well, maybe there won't be an encore though.
Oh yeah.
If I enjoy it enough, I will
Oh,
clap at
damn.
the end.
That's not how it works. We've practiced it. We're playing it.
And then in about, it's about 11 hours, we're going to be getting on a plane to
Yes.
Japan. We'll be in Japan tomorrow. We'll have a podcast episode tonight from Melbourne.
Yes.
And then tomorrow from Osaka. We can't wait to be there. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We had an absolute ball. Juryo just delivers
Oh, it always does.
over and over. It's
And
so
especially
good.
watching with everyone here, it's just surreal. It's one of my life joys, actually.
It's so good. The pleasures of sumo.
Yep.
We will see you very, very soon.
Bye-bye.